The prenuptial agreement was as thick as a novel and just as full of plot twists. I, Sophie, a literature professor, was more accustomed to deconstructing metaphors than legalese, but even I could see the narrative this document was trying to craft. I was the gold-digging interloper, and my fiancé, Carter Winslow IV, was the fortune that needed protecting. We were in the opulent office of his family's lawyer, Mr. Harrington. Carter held my hand, his touch apologetic. "It's just a formality, Soph, my father's idea, for the family's peace of mind." His father, Carter Winslow III, sat across the vast mahogany desk, a monument to old money judgment. He didn't smile. He'd never thought a professor's daughter from a public university was suitable for the Winslow legacy. "Standard protection for generational assets, Sophia," Mr. Harrington droned, tapping a clause. "Full financial disclosure, which you've had, spousal support limits in case of dissolution, and, of course, the paternity verification provision." I blinked. "The what?" "Article 7, Section C," Harrington said, pushing the document toward me. "In the event of offspring, a DNA paternity test will be conducted immediately post-birth to confirm the child's lineage to the Winslow bloodline for purposes of inheritance and trust eligibility. The mother agrees to this testing as a condition of the marriage." The air left the room. I looked at Carter. "You want me to agree to prove our future children are yours as a condition of marrying me?" Carter had the decency to look ashamed. "It's not about you, darling, it's about the estate planning. The trusts are set up for direct biological descendants only. It's just how it's done." His father finally spoke, his voice like gravel. "We must ensure the continuity of the line. It's no reflection on your character, my dear, simply a necessity." But it was. It was a reflection that they believed I could or would cheat, that the child I might carry could be someone else's. It was the most profound insult dressed up as fiduciary responsibility. A hot, defiant anger rose in my chest. I was no gold digger. I loved Carter, not his name or his portfolio. But this clause was a poison pill, a permanent suspicion woven into the foundation of our marriage. "And if I refuse?" I asked, my voice quiet. "Then the marriage, frankly, cannot proceed," the elder Winslow said, not unkindly but with absolute finality. "The trust structures are irrevocable." Carter squeezed my hand, pleading with his eyes. "Just sign it, it doesn't mean anything." But it meant everything. It meant a lifetime of audits, of proving my fidelity and my children's worth. I thought of my future son or daughter, their right to love and legacy contingent on a lab result. A reckless, dangerous idea took root. If they wanted proof of biology so badly, let's give it to them. Let's settle this before a child was ever in the picture. Let's remove the what if forever. I looked Harrington dead in the eye. "I'll sign it, but with an addendum." "An addendum?" "We do the test now. You have Carter's DNA on file from some ancestral club or other, I'm sure. Take mine. Run a full compatibility and heritage screen. You get your peace of mind about my genetic suitability, and we establish a preconception baseline paternity verification. That way there's no question ever. The clause is satisfied before we even say I do." The room went silent. Carter's father looked intrigued. It was an aggressive, clinical move that spoke a language he understood: risk mitigation. "That is highly unorthodox," Harrington stammered. "But legally sound," I pressed. "It could be drafted as a binding rider," he conceded. Carter looked horrified. "Sophie, that's insane. We don't need to do that." "According to your family, we do. So let's do it. Let's get it over with. I won't start my marriage under a cloud of suspicion. Either you trust me completely or this ends now." It was a gamble. I was calling their bluff with a nuclear option. The elder Winslow studied me, a flicker of respect in his cold eyes. He saw it not as emotional hysteria, but as a strategic power play. He nodded. "Draw it up, Harrington." 2 weeks later, the three of us were back in the same office. The tests had been done at the family's private medical facility. Harrington had a sealed, legal-sized envelope on his desk. "The results from Genosure have back," he said, his demeanor oddly nervous. "As per the writer, they are to be opened and disclosed in the presence of all parties." Carter held my hand again, sweaty this time. "This is so stupid, Soph. I'm sorry we put you through this." His father merely watched, a hawk waiting. Harrington opened the envelope with a silver letter opener. He pulled out the summary report, his eyes scanning the dense text. His face, normally an impassive mask, underwent a startling transformation. Confusion first, then a slow, dawning horror. He looked from the paper to Carter, to me, to Carter's father. "What is it?" the elder Winslow demanded. Harrington could barely speak. The paternity screening, the allele comparison for potential offspring," he swallowed, his throat clicking. "It indicates a 99.9% probability of paternity, but the match isn't to Carter the fourth." The sentence hung, senseless. "What do you mean it isn't to Carter?" I asked, my heart beginning to hammer. Harrington's eyes, wide with disbelief, lifted from the paper and locked onto Carter Winslow III. His voice was a horrified whisper. "The match is to you, sir, Carter III. The DNA indicates that any child Sophia bears would be, biologically, your grandchild, but according to this, the paternal contribution would be yours, not your son's." Time stopped. The elegant clock on the mantel ceased its tick. Carter IV stared at his father, his face blank with incomprehension. What is he saying? But I understood. The pieces, ugly and impossible, fell into place. The coldness, the insistence on the DNA clause, the way the elder Winslow looked at me not with disdain, but with a possessive, calculating intensity. The family trust wasn't just about money. It was about his bloodline, his direct bloodline. His direct bloodline. My fiancé was not my future child's father. His father was. The prenuptial wasn't to protect the family from me. It was to protect the secret of the family, and I had just blown it wide open with a single devastating test.